What's up, Star Wars nerds, and welcome to another episode of brettonfett. Today we're going to be stepping out of the light and into the shroud of darkness as we look at my top 10 favorite action figures for Shadow Troopers. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 9 of brettonfett. And you know, before the movie Rogue One, a Star Wars story, introduced us to those all-black armored elite troopers known as Death Troopers, there was the Shadow Troopers. And today we're going to be talking all about my favorite action figures of Shadow Troopers. So let's talk a little bit about who the Shadow Troopers are. So Shadow Troopers were elite stealth stormtroopers. They wore black suits of high-tech armor with cloaking devices that made them almost completely invisible. They've made appearances as Shadow Clone Troopers in the Republic Army during the Clone Wars and as Shadow Stormtroopers in the Galactic Empire. The first Shadow Troopers actually appeared in the 1979 Star Wars comic strip called Gambler's World by Russ Manning, where they were referred to as Black Hole Stormtroopers. In 2008, they appeared in the video game Star Wars The Force Unleashed, where they had blue-lit plating and were referred to as Shadow Troopers. They've also appeared in numerous other games, such as Star Wars Battlefront. Okay, so before we get started with my top 10 Shadow Troopers, if you're a collector, you may have noticed a guy back here that doesn't look too familiar to you. And that's this Expanded Universe Shadow Trooper. And that's because this is not a Hasbro Vintage Collection figure. This is actually a custom Star Wars figure that I got online from a company called Smith Lord Creations. Alright, so here's a better look at the Expanded Universe card Shadow Trooper I got from Smith Lord Creations. And as you can probably tell, these guys make their figures in the style of the old Kenner 5 POA figures for that classic look. Here's another example of a Power of the Force style Thrawn card back figure with custom coin that also caught my eye. This one is really awesome in my opinion. And here's a couple of shots of their website, which is thefanstrikeback.com. And they also have a Facebook group, which you can find under Smith Lord Creations. And I'll be sure to leave all their info in my video description. As you'll see, they do sell both custom figures on card and loose custom figures, as well as other cool stuff, including non-Star Wars toys. And by the way, you'll also see on their website that they have a place where you can provide suggested ideas for figures, so hit them up and let them know what you'd like them to make next.
And done.
I'll take that. You're doing a great job. Aww.
Well, it's true.
That is not a suggestion!
Oh dear.
Can you believe that guy?
Alright, so be sure to check out Smith Lord Creations on their Facebook page and on their website. Like I said, I'll be sure to put their information in the description of this video. And unfortunately, I think I did get one of the last of this particular Expanded Universe Shadow Trooper, but keep your eye out because they've got something even more exciting in the works. Okay, so just a few ground rules for this top 10. Number 1, of course, they've got to be action figures, so no statues like Hot Toys or that sort of thing. Number 2, they do have to be an official Hasbro action figure. So unfortunately, this awesome guy does not count. Only Hasbro figures. Number 3, they've got to have Shadow in the name. So no Death Troopers or Purge Troopers. Just because they've got black or dark armor doesn't make them Shadow Troopers. So these are only Shadow Troopers. Again, gotta have Shadow in the name. And I think that's about it, so let's get to it. Okay, so starting off at number 10, I've got the Revenge of the Sith Utapau Shadow Trooper from 2005. This was a Target exclusive. Really neat looking figure with his deep red glowing eyes. It came in this nice Star Wars clamshell case. They're advertising the super articulation on it. And it's a really cool figure. The only issue I had with it is it just kind of lacks that shininess to it, in my opinion. It's a little bit of a duller paint job, but otherwise, very cool figure. And at number 9, I've got another Utapau Shadow Trooper. This one's from the 30th anniversary line from 2008. And this is a straight repack of the previous figure from Revenge of the Sith I just showed you. The reason I put this one above the other is because it's got this awesome black coin, and I love these. The black coins are my favorite of all the coins that Hasbro has put out. Really a nice touch to go with the Shadow Trooper. And there's a look at the back of the card. I really like these 30th anniversary line figures, and I forgot to mention this was a fan's choice figure. And coming in at number 8 on my list is the first item on my list that I do not own personally in my collection, and it's the Jedi Con 2008 exclusive multi-pack Shadow Troopers. And this is a 2-pack of figures. The one on the right, you'll see, is a straight repack of that same Utapau Shadow Trooper we covered in number 10 and number 9 on my list. But the really cool thing about this multi-pack is the figure on the left, which is a Shadow ARC Trooper. He looks really awesome, and this multi-pack was the only way you could get that figure. So really neat set there. And at number 7, I have the Saga Collection Shadow Stormtrooper from 2006. And this is actually the very first Imperial Shadow Trooper that we got from Hasbro. And I love this one. You can see it's got the comic book art in the background commemorating his first appearance in that comic strip. You've got images from the comics on the back. I absolutely love this figure. It was really difficult not to put it higher on the list for me. It even comes with a special Star Wars clamshell, so awesome figure. And at number 6, I have the 30th anniversary Shadow Stormtrooper from 2008. This is a fan's choice. This is a repack from the Saga Collection version I showed you in number 7. Great figure, but what put this one above the other is it does come with that black coin. Again, I love these black coins they put out, so I had to give this one a higher rating. Looking over at the back, you've also got image from the comic, just like the Saga Collection version have, which is a really nice touch for the packaging, but awesome figure overall. At number 5, I have the first Vintage Collection figure on my list. It's the Vintage Collection VC-163 Shadow Trooper from 2019. This was an all-new sculpt Shadow Trooper. It's got a little more accessories, such as a pauldron on his shoulder. Really cool looking figure. I absolutely love the card back image of the Shadow Trooper there. Here's a look at the back. You see it's VC-163. I'm a big time Vintage Collection collector, guys, so you know I had to have this one in my top 5. And at number 4, I have the 2007 San Diego Comic-Con Shadow Scout with speeder bike. And I mean, this is one of my favorite pieces in my collection because I mean it's a Shadow speeder bike, guys, and who doesn't love speeder bikes? Love Scout Troopers, so just a perfect combination of the Shadow with the Scout Troopers and the speeder bike. My only gripe with this figure is I thought the deco on the figure itself could have been a little shinier. It's a little bit on the dull side in my opinion, but other than that, just an awesome set. I love the packaging. Great display ability for an inbox collector like me, and just overall love this piece. Alright, and cracking open the top 3, at number 3 I have another Vintage Collection. This is VC-194, the Shadow Stormtrooper, as part of the Gaming Greats line. This one's from the Force Unleashed. Awesome design of a Shadow Trooper with that blue glow and the translucent parts that's kind of representing how he starts to cloak himself, become invisible. The card back is awesome. Here's a look at the back of the card. There are other gaming greats. You can see it's VC-194, but just awesome card back, awesome looking figure. Just had to put this in my top 3. And at number 2, I have the Black Series Gaming Greats Shadow Trooper from 2020. Awesome design. This is an identical design to the Vintage Collection version I just showed you at number 3. Just love the blue highlights, the deco, the translucent midsection. Can't say enough about how cool this design looks. And the only thing that put this one above the Vintage Collection version for me is that this one has this holster on the side that did not come on the TVC version. So that was the only difference for me that put this one above the TVC version at number 2. But great figure. And before I move on to my number 1 choice, I do have an honorable mention. It's this Legacy Collection, Commemorative Collection multi-pack from 2009 with the Emperor Palpatine and 2 Shadow Troopers. I just didn't know quite what to do with this one because, you know, the main focus of this packaging is the Emperor, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to count it or not. Also, the Shadow Troopers are, again, repacks from the Saga Collection from 2006. So I decided to just put this in there. I wanted to mention that you know, it exists and it's there, and there was actually a 30th anniversary version of the same pack that's just not quite as cool looking. But they're both from The Force Unleashed. So I gave it an honorable mention. Alright, and at number 1 I have the Black Series Imperial Shadow Squadron pack from 2014. Unfortunately, this is another one I do not personally own in my collection. I really wish I did. A lot of collectors consider this a grail piece. It's just an awesome set, coming with the speeder bike, with the Shadow Scout Trooper, and then the Shadow Stormtrooper Commander, who we had not gotten before this. And just love the packaging, the imagery in the background. The figures themselves are just so cool. Unfortunately, since I don't have it, I can't do a full review for you. I highly recommend you check out the YouTube channel Out of the Basement. Justin from Out of the Basement recently picked this up, and he does a really good review on his channel of this pack, so please check that out. But again, just awesome piece. Definitely my number 1 for Shadow Troopers. So let me know in the comments what you thought about my top 10, and let me know what your favorite Shadow Trooper is. Well, that's going to do it for another episode of Brett on Fett. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Also, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Brett on Fett. Thank you so much. Take care, and we'll see you next time.